sure it's all working. There we go. Edit privacy to public. Make sure the audio is working. And okay, let's get going. So, I'm just going to be testing everything. I actually probably should have renamed the stream instead of let me know if the audio is working. Didn't do that, but we're going to go ahead and just jump in and start kind of making some melodies. It's 9 in the morning. Getting a nice early start on streaming. So let's just jump into it. Everybody's been wanting me to use Scalar lately, so let's jump into there and see what we can make. Let's see, do they have... Okay, they have chord options here. Let's see what the pop chord option is. Okay, let's run with those. So let's drag this into here. Okay, so let's just have those 4 for now. Let's drag them over into Keyscape. Get rid of Scalar, and let's get into it. Okay, let's come up. I'm going to make this like 170 or so. And then let's drag out those notes so that they're not so long. So if we just hold down Option, we can stretch them out to be each a bar like that. Okay, and I'm going to drag these in. Grab these middle notes and put them up on octave. Got the audio. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. It's been a nightmare. Literally destroyed my stream over the past week or so. The new OBS update or whatever happened, so now I'm having to use a different program. Streamlabs OBS. It's working now, so let's just get it. I'm gonna have this auto find the scale. It's not always accurate, but we'll use it for now. And we're in half-step scaling just so we can get some kind of little off notes. Let's drag these out. retro feel reminds me of James Blunt. Yeah, this is a crazy loop already. Just a few seconds into it, so I'm excited to see what this turns into. So we're going to duplicate that out again just so we can have this kind of top line change a little bit. Let's see here. So I'll have that start right into there, up there. This will go down like this. Let's pitch it down to. Let's give it a little bit more of a randomized velocity so that it's a little bit more dynamic. And then let's change the scale a little bit. Let's maybe go up 3. Yeah, I like that. So let's find another sound that we can use that with. I might keep the piano just because it sounds so clean, but let's find either another sound it can change to in the beat or something to replace the piano with. So I'm going to copy it over to here at first. I don't know why my Facebook comments don't come through on Facebook. They used to. Maybe it's because I'm using an iPad for Facebook. Who knows? But anyway, let's keep going. Ooh, I kind of like that. Alright, let's get something for a counter melody. For now, let's use Lounge Lizard until we can swap it out again. We'll do the same thing. And let's come up with some sort of counter that we like. I get a lot of weird questions about counter melodies. People overthink them a lot, for sure. It doesn't have to be the same. Like, see how this starts on G? Your counter melody doesn't need to start on G. It can start any note in the scale. I recommend you usually starting them a little bit away from the downbeat so that it can breathe a little bit. The whole beat can kind of feel like it changes and moves a little bit. So counter melodies, don't overthink them. Sometimes they can just be something very simple. So say we just make these like some smaller notes like this. We can just literally kind of click random things in. Like this. Right, it can be something like that, or you can have a little bit more fun with it. You can even just have it just be a few, but I like these little like trills like that. Right, and if we do that, we can kind of legato it down to that point so they all snap. Okay, so this note's a little bit off. Okay, so like that. And then we're just gonna legato those out again. Whoa, whoa, don't delete that. That's bad. Okay, here we go. Right, so something like that. I like that. That's clean as a counter melody. I'm not going to use this sound. Let's try that Xenology again. I've just barely started using it yesterday, I think, and so far I've been loving it. It's part of a subscription bundle, so you pay, they have different prices from $2 a month, I think, up to $20 a month for different Roland plugins. And so I'm really just on the trial right now, testing out the Pro. But I don't really like a lot of the other Roland plugins. I really like this one so far, though. So this one you can also buy by itself for about $200, and it definitely is seeming like it's worth it. It has like some of the cheaper sounds, kind of like Purity, but it also has some kind of smooth, more analog synthy sounds too. So it's a nice mix. But anyway, let's try to find something. Maybe let's use like a flute or something like that. Okay, let's make sure none of our notes are hanging over so it loops right. It's probably the melody that I did. Let's try that flute an octave down. Ooh, that's clean. Get one more kind of more drawn out sound. So whenever I'm making sounds, I should probably talk about this more often. That's another question that I get is people, when you first start producing, you want to throw 10 million sounds into everything because you think it makes it better. But really when artists are going to be on a song, I would say 98% of the time want to keep it more simple. So for example, like, do you need 10 hi-hat snare rolls and crazy stuff going on? Like, do you need all those 808 slides all over the place and 10 vocal samples and 100? You don't need all that. Like, keep it kind of simple so that it can change for the artist, because really at the end of the day, if you're making music for an artist to record on, their voice is going to be the most important thing. The beat is underneath it that helps support it, but the voice is kind of the entire point. So make sure that you keep that in mind. And it's not hard because you're actually just doing less. It's just better sound selection so that things can stay open. So I know with these, I can have just this as kind of like an intro, or say just a verse, just something where it can get a little bit more stripped down. But I can also build it up with the full keys and the flute. And that's about as full as it needs to get. Now, I hear some empty space, and I want to be able to have some more airy areas for the bridge. So that's where I'm going to come in with some sort of pad. I'm going to use, let's try the Prophet. And then we want to get some sort of a pad, and we're just going to use the same chords for this. But it's just to have a purpose of filling out those spaces in the really sparse areas. So if we just use just the pad and the flute, it's going to create this kind of like vibe that's still in the same world, but it's going to be able to come right back into having drums with that more dry piano and being good that way. So long rant to say, have a reason for picking your sounds. If you want to use 100 sounds, there's really nothing bad about it if you can do it right. If the point is to make a really like hyped up sound, that can work really good. But a lot of the most hyped up songs have like one really loud sound. So just have a reason for doing what you do, and everything should be good. There's no rules. You can use 10 million sounds. Just think of why you're using it, I guess. So I'm going to quantize this to the actual grid like that. I'm going to go back to half step for when I'm making the beats, and we're going to test out this pad. No, why is that called soft ambient? That one's kind of good. It's a little bit detuned. I want to check it with the... I think that'd be really good with tremolator on it. So let's send these into the piano roll real quick. Oh, I didn't select space keys, my bad. Okay, so now with this pad, I'm gonna kind of make it chug a little bit with tremolator. I'm sure there's some other things that make this, but I've used tremolator for a while, so I'm not sure what other plugins. Let's see. One thing I love about FL is the clickability and tuniness of the piano roll. Like, exactly. I have tried every DAW that I can. I kind of, I don't know, have some sort of pride about knowing the different DAWs. But I always keep coming back to FL for melodies because it's just easier to click in the piano roll, to delete, how fast it is. I think Ableton is way better for manipulating audio itself. I think Logic is the best one I've ever tried so far for recording vocals. And Logic has a lot of other really crazy good processes too, but none of them can beat FL's piano roll for simple melodies. So when I'm just doing melodies, I'm in here. So because we have kind of a square wave, let's try square and see if that coming on and off, and then turn the depth down. So we have kind of that bounce to it. Let's see if that fits. I want the melody itself to kind of get your head moving.